Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Author Spotlight where I am talking with Kez Wickham St George, who is also our editor of Inspired Connections. Now, she's a global author and the CEO of Book Cover Awards with 20 years in the industry, vastly experienced, and I'm just so excited to introduce you with everyone and share a little bit about your journey. Welcome, Kez.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
So, tell us a little bit about all the amazing things that you are up to in your writing. Well, you're not just writing, I know you're doing so many things. So, maybe just highlight a few of those amazing things that you're up to.
Okay. What am I up to? Well, as you know, I'm an author, just an everyday author, and I received best-selling status before I even published. Um, my publisher put it out, then she rang me just before the launch, and she said to me, "You've reached bestseller." So that was a real boost in the arm for me because we all enter as authors sort of like newborn babies. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to do it. We don't know if our story's going to be read. We're all sort of if, buts, and whys. And then I won an award for the trilogy. So that really set me up actually. And I've been writing for magazines, newspapers, and anthologies. I've been writing books for, as you said, 20 years. And I'd never won an award or been a bestseller before, but it's always been a thing that I wanted to do. Now that was the bestseller was 3 years ago, and the award was last year. And the amount of 2022, for some reason, just went boom for me. I was approached by 4 different magazines. Would I be interested in contributing and editing, structural editing for them? And I said, contributing, yes. But the structural editing of a huge magazine was a big job, and you're not getting paid for it. So as a contributor, you don't get paid. So I had to think very carefully because it's nice to have your name up there in lights and everybody going, oh, wow, look at Kez. But it's also a lot of work. And I'm over the age now that I really want to start enjoying my life as well. I've done the hard 9 yards. So what I did was I finished the trilogy. My publisher published a poetry and quote book that I've been dying to get out for a very long time. You know how you collect all these quotes and all these sayings, and I wanted to put them on paper because I think some of them are just absolutely marvelous. And then 3 years ago, I actually finished my creative arts diploma, and it's taken me years on, off. That also gave me a boost because what I learned is while I'm writing, my brain is focused. When I'm doing something else, I'm focused on that, and the writing's put aside. And that's what happens. I don't know about anyone else's brain, but it relaxes it. It's your brain's it's called plasticity. And I was able to do all this while I took on 2 magazines, and then it was 3. It stayed at 3. I'm the structural editor of 2 magazines now. So it was a long, long journey for me to say, yes, I can do all this, but you need to put your ducks in a row, so to speak. Get yourself motivated, and for that you need a team. And I didn't realize that I was doing it all on my own, which caused a little bit of burnout. And then there was a health blip through the burnout, and then it was like, okay, these people have held their hands up, we will help you. So that's when the book reviews, I've been doing them for 2 years now. That's one of my jobs. I actually do that for absolutely nothing because I adore books and writers. I think they're all so brave putting their stories out there, or even just writing a story. It's a wonderful thing to do. I don't know if the authors realize this, how fabulous it is that you've actually put words on paper, you've used your voice, you've told a story, and we are all unique walking stories, all of us. So why not just add to it by putting it onto a book or joining an anthology? The last, I'd say 5 years have been full of opportunities that I have said yes to. I say yes to everything now. That's my advice. Say yes. And if you can't do it, ask for help. So it's joining your anthology was amazing. It's an amazing experience. Life is full of experiences, and that's what we've got to learn. We've got to enjoy them. We're here for this purpose. We are holistically here to enjoy life. You know, the body gets bumps and bruises and illnesses, but the spirit doesn't. The spirit doesn't get harmed. It's always sitting there thinking, I can do this. Give it a go. So that's why I do what I do. The Wickham St George Book Cover Awards, another long name, but it's something I've always wanted to do. And so why not? And let's face it, you know, failure isn't failure. It's I gave it a go. It didn't work this way. It might work another way. So give it a go. That's all I can say really is life has just showered me with opportunities because I was open to it. And writing and helping people write their story, being a book coach, being a book reviewer, doing the Wickham St George Book Awards, being a structural editor, it all just fits. It just sits inside me beautifully. And I know when it's time to go, and you know when it's time to jump up and say, pick me.
Yes. And that's what I love about you. You've got such a beautiful spirit. Like you're so young at heart. And it really feels like it's because you are seizing the opportunities and saying yes to all these amazing things. I'd love you to just share a little bit more about these book reviews that you do, because in my community, there's a lot of publishers and a lot of writers. So they might be interested in what you're doing there.
My book reviews, because I love my writing tribe or community, my book reviews are absolutely free. I do not charge for them at all, but I do insist that you send me a book. There is nothing like a book. The smell of a book. It's amazing. You open a book and you smell, oh my goodness. And yeah, so please send me a book. I will review it. And then it goes on my YouTube channel as a review. And then I send it to you. If you've got a LinkedIn or a Facebook that I can send it to you on, I will do that. So it goes to 3 different channels. So that's my book reviews. On the Wickham St George Book Cover Awards, we've got to realise that the cover is the first thing you go to, the very first thing you go to. And then you go to the blurb on the back of the book. So imagine yourself standing in a library, you've picked a book and you think, that looks really good. Then you read I want to read that one. And that's the way I feel, oh yeah, that looks good, I want to. And and I might have put 6 books back thinking, no. So it's what attracts you in the heart. The spirit pulls you into it and you think, want to read this book. And I've read some amazing books. I love stories about animals. So who knew? I didn't know that until I was in my teens and I went to the library. So then there's the fact that the awards the author. Now, we know it's not always the author that puts the cover up, but it's the author that says, yes, I love that cover. I have turned away many covers because I just don't gel with them. Not that I don't like them, they don't sit right. So choose your cover carefully, and that's when you get to send it to me. Once the book's published, not just the cover, once the book's published, and now I have 4 judges that do the different genres. So it's like really, I pass it on. I don't, every month they get a PDF and it's all passed on to them. And they'll sit and they'll read about it and they choose, not me. But the book cover awards, I wanted all the books. If you could see my room, I've got stacks of books everywhere. They're all over my desk on my bookcase. And they're going into the book awards because they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. They've done their best. Don't be ashamed or frightened of approaching someone and saying, what do you think of my book cover? Now, it may not get chosen, but it's not me. It's the judges. And so all the judges that I have asked to join me on this little trip, they've all got different interests and they will all choose what pulls them, not me. And that's the beauty of running something like this, the Book Cover Awards. And there will be an award given. It'll be, like a nice piece of creative paper, a nice bit of artwork on it that says you've won a book award. That I am charging for that one. So the book reviews are totally free. Don't forget that you can just approach me and say, I'd like you to review my book, and I will give you my postal address. Apart from that, the Wickham St George Book Cover Awards, I do charge for. It's $25 a book. So, yeah, I just feel that there's a very personal touch here. I'm not a big company. I'm a little solo person sitting here thinking, I'm inviting you to be recognized. And that's the big one. Let's get each other recognized. Don't be frightened. I can't leap out of the screen and bite you. I'm just here as a solo person thinking, I love the cover of that book. I wish we could do more with it. So that's why the book cover awards were created.
Oh, I really love that, and I love your generosity in reviewing these books. It really shows your spirit around helping everybody be recognized, helping everybody to step into, rewarding people for actually having the courage to put their story out there. So I love what you do. And now, how can people get in touch with you? And I'll put it in the banner here as well. What's
If they
the
go
contact?
to kezart27 at Gmail,
Okay. Just typing it in so it can come on the screen. Here we go. So if people contact you here, they can get in touch with you, find out more about the book covers awards, but also about the reviews. And of course, you never know what you may say yes to next time.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a movie made. I said yes to that of one of my books, and that was amazing. I still can't. I'm an author, and I deal with words every day. I cannot describe how it made me feel. I cannot describe it. So there's those moments in your life. Keep saying yes, unless it doesn't gel with you. But if you think that's interesting, I think I could do that. Say yes, and send me your book cover so I can award you with something beautiful, and send me your books so I can review them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your generosity and for sharing your spirit with us today. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'm so grateful that you're in Inspired Connections, and I look forward. I can't wait to get this book out there so everyone can read it and have that experience that you had about, just the inspiration that comes and the diversity from all these inspired connections, because that is the new currency. Relationships, friendships are how we're going to succeed in what I call the new world, the new era, what we're moving into. It's more and more relationships are the new way of becoming successful. So thank you.
It's all about collaboration now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kez.